All scripture is given by inspiration of Yahweh and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction,
for instruction in righteousness, that the man of YAH may be complete, thoroughly equipped for every good work. This is Watchman of YAH. I had a dream in January of 2022. In this dream, I was going to a restaurant with my husband. It wasn't fancy. It was like a restaurant you'd see traveling to Asia and going to places that foreigners don't go to, that kind of place. I wanted to leave, but my husband wanted to order food, so we went inside and he ordered us food. We sat at a table waiting for our food. It was a small place and there were some other people there. At some point, people started making weird jerk movements with their body. They would move to one side in a weird contorted way and go back to normal. It was like they didn't notice what they were doing, as they would just continue to walk or eat after the movements. It was like they were transforming or something, like they started to limp to one side and were moving their arms in strange ways, and they looked like they were going crazy, but in slow motion. This wasn't happening fast. I could see people acting like this one at a time as we were waiting for our food, and I was thinking, we should get out of here. And I asked my husband if he saw what was happening and asked him, shouldn't we leave now? Despite wanting to leave immediately, I was also trying to act like I didn't notice, try not to look alarmed and raise no attention to myself. I didn't want to find out what happens as their condition progresses, but I felt like it wouldn't be good to be around them. My husband wanted to get our food first and then leave. So I got up and stood right outside of the restaurant, and I looked up at the sky, and in the sky there was a huge orangish ball. It was a burning ball like the sun, but not the sun that is in space. This ball was close to Earth. The distance looked like you could fly to it in an airplane, and it was directly over this particular country. It was orangish, but I did call it a huge sphere. It has a crack forming in it, and this crack was not only growing, but it was starting to open. The crack I saw forming in it was jagged, not straight. The jagged areas were very sharp, and at first it was only on the surface of this thing. As it began to open, the jagged areas were very sharp, and not far spaced apart, but far enough that I could see what was inside. The crack showed that this sphere was a thick 3D object as well, so the shell of this sphere is thick enough for me to notice it. Inside the sphere was a black dragon, a huge black dragon. I saw its head, and its body was long and snake-like, moving around inside that sphere. As large as the sphere was, this dragon had plenty of room to move. It was kind of moving snake-like back and forth, like it was stalking that opening and wanted to come out. Its head was looking at whether or not the slit was large enough to escape from, again in a snake-like way. This dragon is exactly like how they are depicted in whatever Chinese art you see them on. It saw that it couldn't get out of the crack. Had the crack been a straight line, it could have gotten out. Because it was jagged in such a sharp and dangerous way, it determined that it couldn't. So it kept stalking this opening, waiting for it to get bigger. I was looking at this thing and I saw that the line, the crack, was expanding towards the underside of the ball. It was only on the outside at that point. So I understood that that crack was going to eventually get bigger and that dragon would be able to eventually escape out of it. I only understood that part. I did not see that part happening. End of dream. Although this dream made an impression on me that I recognized that it was a legit dream, I still needed confirmation that the dream was legit. Later on that day, I saw that people were talking about a sun that had to do with China. The pictures of that article were of a dark sun. Seemed interesting since I just dreamt that, so I checked it out. Of course, Google can give articles and videos on the subject you were talking about in the privacy of your home. However, this particular video was from someone I was subscribed to. He was doing a commentary about it. And this person usually talks about random things having to do with Hollywood or well-known rich people, American politics, the mark of the beast, stuff like that. So I wasn't expecting this to be covered, and I wouldn't have cared that he did cover it if it wasn't for the dream anyways. I would not have looked this up online for my own interests as well. So I say all that to say this was a coincidence. Clearly I don't know what to make of this. That's why I have not posted it. It's cryptic, and so I forgot about it. Now in October 2022, as I'm working on a different project, I have remembered it, and I'm supposed to post it. This is the understanding I got in my spirit, which is why I changed my mind. It's cryptic. The people that this is for will understand it. The people that it's for are the ones who have to pray concerning this, to whom it may concern.
All praise, honor, and glory for this message goes to the Holy Trinity, Abba Yahweh, Yahushua, and the Ruach HaKodesh, aka Shekinah Glory, aka the Holy Spirit.
Remember, the Lord chastises, which is to correct those he loves. If this message is a blessing to you, like and subscribe and share with someone you love.